to start out tonight by thanking Sandra's family for hosting all of us down here. You've done an excellent job of making us all feel welcome. I've heard a lot of good stories, and it's a pleasure to finally meet all of you. For those of you I haven't met, my name's Sean, and I'm one of Jamie's best men. I met Jamie our first year in high school, and actually before I go any further, he likes to go by the name James now. Guess it makes him feel more mature, distinguished, and I think we all know better. And I knew him when he was just Jamie, so I'm going to stick with that. So we met our first year in high school, and we had some good times back then. To be honest with you, we got into a lot of trouble back then as well. Put our parents through hell at times, and they only know half of it. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Southworth, your son helped to light me on fire once in the backyard when you guys were away. And actually, now that I think about it, it makes sense. I guess even way back then, he was looking for something to smoke. No, but we had some good times back then, all of us. Most of our old friends are here with us tonight. But the best thing to happen to me was when Jamie decided to move west. Not only would I have my best friend in California to do things with, and you can please keep the San Francisco jokes to yourselves. But more importantly, I was able to meet and get to know Sandra. Otherwise, I never would have seen what a beautiful, intelligent, hospitable woman Jamie had found.
Hell yeah.
And having spent the past few years with them, I've had the opportunity to see how perfect they are for one another. But more, how perfect they are for one another. But I mentioned Sandra being hospitable, and that actually goes for James as well. Jamie, I should say. We have a big group of friends out in California, most of us with family back east, and these guys are always having us over, hosting events, parties, Patriots games, annual stuff. There you go. Cheap applause. The annual Southworth Malice Lamb Roast, we've kept that alive out west. But the best thing about going over there is the food. Anyone who knows Sandra knows the girl can cook. And it's definitely a skill that she brings to the relationship. Jamie's a very lucky guy. And in preparing this, I was trying to think of what special skills Jamie brings to the relationship. And it dawned on me. See, Jamie has this dance that he calls the bucking bronco. It's a very suggestive dance. Provocative, if you will. I've had the misfortune of seeing it myself several times. And to give you an idea, we were celebrating my 30th birthday, a bunch of us up in Lake Tahoe, and after some drinks, Jamie decided to bust out the bucking bronco. And as he was gyrating on the floor in front of us, I glanced over at my lovely wife, Erin, and I've never before seen the look on her face in public. So judging from his moves on the dance floor, I can only begin to imagine what special skills Jamie brings to the relationship. But I will say this, Sammy seems like a very happy woman, so whatever you're doing, Jamie, keep it up. So I mentioned earlier that we have a bunch of old friends here tonight, many more recent ones as well, some guys from Northeastern, a bunch of friends from California. And there's a good reason for this. People have always liked Jamie. And I could probably list a bunch of good qualities right now, but it really boils down to one thing, and that's that Jamie's a good man. And if you're lucky enough to be friends with him, he'll do anything for you. He'll never say a bad word about any of his friends. He'll make fun of your face, call you out, but he won't say anything really bad. And you can trust him with anything. Unless, of course, your wife's president and he happens to be doing the bucking bronco. So I'm happy tonight because Jamie has found someone who's as good as he is. You guys make a great couple. And marriage can be difficult at times, but fortunately you have some very, very good people to turn to. Jamie's grandparents, you can turn to them. They've recently celebrated over 60 years of marriage. Papu, congratulations. You can turn to your lovely sister Amy, who I knew growing up, and her husband Tim. And of course you can turn to your parents, who are two of the nicest, most happily married people I've ever met. And so this brings me to my final story. It's back in high school, and Jamie was being a typical high school teenage ass and mouthing off to his mom. He said some pretty bad things and stormed out of the house, ran down Pond Street. And his dad, Tommy, must have heard what was going on. He tore off after him, got in the car, jumped in it, tore off down Pond Street, and told me he almost hit his son. He grabbed Jamie, threw him in the car, and he told him, "Son, I'll always love you, but I don't like you right now." Well, Jamie, I'm sure your dad still loves you. I think he likes you by now. But I know he's proud of you tonight, because he couldn't ask for a better son. And so with that, will you please join me in raising your glasses to Jamie and Sandra. May they live a long, happy, healthy life together, and may they always maintain a tight marriage. Ken Cleary.
All right, let's give it up for our best man one more time. Give him an awesome toast, guys. Give him a big round of applause. All right, Southworth will be serving this in a minute. Once that winds down, it's party time.